Well, hello. I'm trying Amazon Flex as a way to earn some extra money, and I'll share why I'm doing this in a little bit. And by making money, I mean money left over after paying my expenses. As they say in business, it's the bottom line, not the top line. So when I started Flex, I decided I would do 3 routes, or what they call blocks, before deciding whether I would do it long term. Because any first route can be the easiest one ever or the worst one ever, and mine landed closer to the worst end of the spectrum. The last half of the delivery block was late in the day. It started getting dark. Thunderstorm came up. I'm driving on rural roads that were sometimes dirt or gravel. All of that was all of that while I was trying to figure out the app, including their map and wayfinding, which I found a little tricky at first, but I've got to figure it out now. And oh yeah, I was trying to find houses on country roads that didn't always have a mailbox or even a number on their house. So great fun. But I got through it, and it took me a good hour longer than the projected time, and I chalked that up to the learning curve. Because it does take a bit to get the hang of a new thing like this. So I'm glad I decided up front to do 3 routes, because I'd have quit after the first one, or it would have been really easy too. There's a very real learning curve, so be patient with yourself. And I found the staff at the Amazon warehouse has been super helpful. They walked me through the pickup process on day one, and they've been great anytime I've had a question. On those first 3 routes, each route's been a little over 100 miles, even though there was an hour and a half difference projected time between them. And interestingly, the route with the longest mileage was actually the shortest in time. Now, I live in a small town of about 50,000 people in the Ozarks. I found that a lot of what the big city YouTubers say doesn't apply quite the same way in a rural community. For example, my local distribution center is smaller than a Walmart supercenter, really not much bigger than a Walmart fresh grocery store. And the pickup procedure is totally different than anything I've seen in other videos. I'll cover all of that and a lot more in a separate small town flex driving video, so look out for that. The app does a great job of helping you figure out exactly which house you're delivering to. It doesn't work quite like Google Maps or Apple Maps, because it's simply sending you to the next stop with a lot of the usual map clutter stripped away. It's pretty clean. But if you follow the directions and the steps, it's actually hard, almost impossible, to deliver the wrong package to the wrong house. Because when you arrive at a stop, you find the package, scan it, and you take it to the designated delivery spot, usually the front door. But sometimes there are special instructions, so look out for that, like put it in a box or something like that. Now, the app has a delivery radius built into it to make sure you drop it at the right house in the right place. There are ways to adjust that, but for now, just know it's hard to mess up. And here's an example. It's up here somewhere. I pulled up to a house, assuming that was it. The map app showed I was in the right driveway, but when I got to the front door and tried to take a picture, the app told me that I was outside the delivery radius by a lot. The blue dot is me, and the orange circle is where I needed to be. So I found a house 100 yards behind the one near the street, and they shared a driveway. Now, if I had forced that delivery, I would have delivered to the wrong house. The app isn't always 100% right, but it's seldom wrong. And about dogs, the app usually warns you if there's a dog to worry about, and there are more dogs in the world than I ever realized. And I have to assume any of them could bite, and those little ones can be the worst. They're called ankle biters for a reason. Now, you do have options, including calling or texting the customer right from the app, and I've used it a few times. And don't worry, they don't see your phone number. Amazon patches the call through. At one place, with a dog on patrol and nobody home, I was able to pull up to a cooler in the driveway and drop it there without getting out of the car. And thankfully, that was within the delivery radius. I suspect I wasn't the first person to have done that. But after that first route, it got a lot easier to settle into a rhythm, deliver a package, drive the next house, repeat. And time goes by surprisingly quickly. And it really is fun to watch the car empty out. My biggest concern is the miles. Over 100 per route adds up, and I suspect that's normal where I live. And it's more than just gas. It's wear and tear on the car, especially on gravel roads, which shorten tire life a lot. And I just put new tires on my car a few weeks ago. They aren't cheap, so something to think about. But the good news is the IRS allows a 72.5-cent per mile deduction for business travel in 2026. So track your miles from day one. That adds up fast. Amazon offers a Flex debit card, which I chose because it's how I get paid so fast. And it works like any other bank debit card. I can transfer money to other accounts, do all the things. And even in my small town, there are ATMs I can use. And that's all in the app for the Flex card. I do buy my work gas, my driving gas with that card just to keep things separate from our household budget. And I'll do the same for any other direct expenses. As a quick side note, as a Flex driver, you're a self-employed subcontractor, so take advantage of every legal deduction and keep good records. Other YouTubers and your tax person can dig deeper into those details. One more thing before I break down the numbers for you. Set aside money from each drive to cover your taxes. Uncle Sam wants his cut, and it's much easier when you have it ready at tax time. Companies do that for employees in the form of paycheck deductions. Here, you are your employee. And I have seen people financially crippled that own their own businesses when they didn't plan for that expense. So the numbers from my first 3 routes. Gross income, $243.50. Total miles, 335. That's a lot. Amazon's estimated time, 10.5 hours. And even accounting for my first block or route, that's about where my actual hours are. I'll probably improve on that moving forward. So gross hourly income, $23.19 an hour. But that's not the real number. Gas, which for me was about 16 gallons at $3.75 a gallon, was about $60 just in hard gas costs. So net income, $183.50, not accounting for wear and tear, which brought my net hourly to $17.47 for the first 3 routes. So the math is okay. Not amazing, but okay. But for me, it beats having to show up somewhere on a fixed schedule. And I was surprised that I liked the work. It's kind of fun. I love to travel, and I want to do more of it. So whatever I earn doing this will pay for more fun trips. So your first route is probably going to be tough. Trust the app. Watch for dogs. Track every mile and expense. Set aside that money for taxes and keep good records. So yes, I'm going to keep going. And I'll do a video from time to time, especially the one on the differences between small towns and the big cities. Appreciate your time. Bye.